Good morning everyone, myself Indrani Mondol. I am going to deliver an important topic, basics of automobile engineering. Let's just discuss. These are the main contents: introduction, history of automobiles, classification of automobiles, different layout of automobile and components of automobile. Let us discuss one by one. A vehicle producing power within itself for its propulsion is known as a self-propelled vehicle. An automobile or automotive is a vehicle that is capable of propelling itself. Since 17th century, several attempts have been made to design and construct a practically operative automobile. Today, automobiles play an unimaginable role in the social, economic and industrial growth of any country. A self-propelled vehicle used for transportation of goods and passengers on the ground is called an automobile. Different from aeronautical vehicles, planes, helicopters, rockets and marine vehicles including ships, boats and submarines. What are the basic requirements of an automobile? It should develop power by itself, power control, power should be transmitted to wheels, continue and discontinue power flow to wheels, torque should be controlled, directional control and should stop vehicle while it is running. Let's discuss history of automobile. Captain Nicolas Joseph Cagnat in French army built the first self-propelled vehicle, Cagnat steam trolley, that was steam engine powered in the year of 1768. Carl Benz was the inventor of the first gasoline powered automobile, Benz patent motor wagon, in the year of 1886. That was powered by an internal combustion engine. Flocken electro wagon was first electric car was produced in the year of 1888. Henry Ford was an American industrialist in Ford Motor Company, was the founder of the first affordable motor car. Now let us discuss classification of automobile. Based on purpose, it is classified as two types: passenger vehicles and goods vehicle. Car, bus, motorcycle are under passenger vehicles, lorry, truck and pickup and under goods vehicles. Based on capacity, it is classified as three types: heavy motor vehicle including large trucks, buses and tractor, light motor vehicle including cars, jeep, motorcycles, and medium vehicles including small trucks, minibus and tempo. Based on fuel source, it is classified into 9 types: petrol engine, diesel engine, gas vehicles, solar vehicles, hydrogen vehicles, electric vehicles, steam engine vehicles, hybrid vehicles, hybrid electric vehicles. Based on type of transmission, it is classified as automatic transmission vehicles, mostly American; conventional transmission vehicles, most Indian vehicles; semi-automatic transmission vehicles, mostly British. Based on make, it is classified as various types. First, Maruti Suzuki, then Hindustan Motors, Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra, TVS Motors, Hero Motorcab, Ashok Leyland, HR Motors, Force Motors, Bajaj Auto Limited, Royal Enfield, Volvo, Volkswagen, Mark Benz, BMW, Caterpillar, Bentley, Audi, etc. With respect to the drive, it is classified as 6 types: left-hand drive, right-hand drive, fluid drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. With respect to the suspension, it is classified as 2 types: conventional, leaf spring, independent, coil, torsion bar, McPherson strut. With respect to the type of engine, it is classified into reciprocating and rotary. Piston engines are reciprocating type. Wankel engine and gas turbine are under rotary type. With respect to the body and doors, it is classified as 7 types: sedan, hatchback, station wagon, convertible, sports utility vehicle, multi-utility vehicle and delivery vans. Based on number of wheels, it is classified as 4 types: two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler and six-wheeler. Let us discuss different layout of car. This figure illustrates front engine. Function of front engine is to protect and cool the engine. Rear engine. Rear engine consists of clutch, gearbox and final drive. It is independent rear suspension system. Tail heavy. Handling will be difficult due to high speed. Large amount of space is required for this rear engine. Increased load will provide better grip on road. Central or mid engine. It is used in sports car. Location of engine provide excellent weight distribution, good handling and maximum traction from driving wheels. Disadvantage in traditional cars and two-seat. Front engine, front wheel drive. This figure illustrates front engine, front wheel drive. This layout provides optimum body luggage space and a flat floor line resulting in a transverse longitudinal engine position. This drive, pulling the car along, provides good grip and good road holding on curves due to major weight at the front. The chances of skidding, especially on slippery surfaces, are very much reduced. Good road adhesion is provided by the large proportion of the vehicle weight acting on the driven wheels. When the vehicle is to be steered into the car, it provides understeer characteristics always preferred by the drivers. The combination of steered and driven wheels with short drive shafts provides the main disadvantage. This requires special universal joints and a more complicated assembly. To prevent the rear wheels from skidding under heavy braking, the reduced weight at the rear usually necessitates special arrangement. So these are the main advantages and disadvantages of front engine wheel drive. Front engine rear wheel drive. This layout illustrates front engine rear wheel drive. Rear wheel drive places the engine in the front of the vehicle and the driven wheels are located at the rear. A configuration known as front engine rear wheel driven layout. In this layout, a front mounted engine, clutch, gearbox unit drives a beam type rear axle supported on leaf springs through a propeller shaft with two universal joints. With the help of coil springs, the front wheels are independently sprung. This layout is one of the oldest layouts which remains unchanged for many years. Some of the advantages are even weight distribution, balanced weight distribution between the front and the rear wheels, providing good handling characteristics. For easy front wheel steering movement, engine occupies the reduced width between the wheel arches. Large luggage space is provided behind the rear seat. Maintenance and accessibility of engine, gearbox is easy and the control over the accelerator, clutch, choke simple. Radiator cooling is natural, so decreases the power required for cooling. Better braking efficiency. The more even weight distribution helps prevent lockup from wheels becoming unloaded under heavy conditions. What are the main disadvantages? Noise and vibration by universal joint and propeller shaft. Propeller shaft operation need floor tunnel clearance, reduces boot space, heavier and more expensive. If stuck in mud or snow, it is harder to drive away than in a front wheel drive car. This is all about front engine rear wheel drive. Next, rear engine rear wheel drive. This arrangement eliminates the necessity for a propeller shaft when the engine is mounted adjacent to the driven wheels. The engine, clutch, gearbox, final drive form a single unit in this layout. As shown in this figure, to reduce the overhang distance between the wheel centers and the front of the engine, the final drive is generally placed between the clutch and the gearbox. In comparison to front wheel drive, it has a simpler drive shaft layout. Further, the weight of rear engine on the driving wheels provides excellent traction and grip, especially on steep hills as well as when accelerating. In spite of the low proportion of the vehicle weight transferring to the front wheels, very effective rear wheel braking is possible. Due to the absence of the propeller shaft, the obstructed floor space is reduced. The front of the vehicle can therefore be designed for good visibility and smooth airflow. The exhaust gases, fumes, engine heat and noises are also carried away from the passengers. It results in compact layout and short car. What are the main disadvantages? Vehicle affected by side winds at high speed, difficult to accommodate the liquid cooling, difficult to fix fuel tank in a safe zone, space for luggage is reduced, natural air cooling is not possible. Steering is difficult in slippery conditions. This is all about rear engine, rear wheel drive. Next, four-wheel drive. In this arrangement, all the four wheels of the vehicle are driven by the engine, thus making the entire vehicle weight available for traction. These four-wheel drive vehicles are very useful on hill station. If one of the wheels slipping or skidding, then the other axle wheel transmit the tractive force to the vehicle. The steering of the four-wheel drive is hard to operate compared with other type of drive. What are the main advantages? Traction is nearly doubled compared to a two-wheel drive layout. Handling characteristics in normal conditions can be configured to emulate. It gives sufficient power. This results in unparalleled acceleration and drivability on surfaces with less than ideal and superior engine braking on loose surfaces. What are the main disadvantages? The manufacturing cost of the vehicle is very high. More component and complicated transmission. Increased powertrain mass, rotational inertia and power transmission losses. Increased fuel consumption compared to two-wheel drive. This is all about four-wheel drive. Next, let us discuss about the various components of automobile. This is a schematic diagram of various components of automobile. The basic structure, the engine, the transmission system, the auxiliaries, the controls and the superstructure. Under basic structure, it consists of the frame, the suspension system, axles, wheels and tires. The engine. It provides the motive power for all various functions which the vehicle or any part of it may be required to perform. The engine for automotive use is internal combustion engine type. The schematic diagram of engine. This is the gas line, gas pump. This is the oil drain plug, radiator hose. This is the pulley, fan belt, water pump. This is the fan, alternator, distributor. This is the valve spring. This is the air filter. This is the PVC hose. This is the feeder hole. This is the cylinder head cover, spark plug cable, spark plug cover, spark plug, and this is the exhaust manifold, dipstick. This is the flywheel. This is the engine block. This is the exhaust pipe, and this is the oil filter. This is the basic construction of engine. The transmission system. The transmission system consists of a clutch, a gearbox, a drive shaft, universal joint, differential, rear wheel and the engine. The functions of a transmission system are to disconnect the engine from the road wheels when desired, to connect the engine to the driving wheels without shock, to vary the leverage between the engine and the driving wheels. Another functions of transmission system is to turn the drive through a right wheel, to make provision for the flexing of road springs which causes a relative movement between the engine and the driving wheels, to make provision for the flexing of the road springs which causes a relative movement between the engine and the driving wheels. See, this is a clutch. Its purpose is to enable the driver to disconnect the drive from the road wheels instantaneously and to engage drive from the engine to the road wheels gradually while moving the vehicle from rest. Gearbox or transmission. The gearbox or the transmission provides the necessary leverage variation between the engine and the road wheels. Bevel pinion and crown wheel. They turn the drive around through 90 degree and also provide a permanent reduction in speed. The permanent reduction in necessitated because of the fact that speed of the engine has to be maintained at optimum level at all times, yet a minimum value of torque has to be made available to the roadways. What is the function of universal joint? They provide for the relative movement between the engine and the driving wheels due to flexing of road springs. Next, differential. Instead of using the long propeller shafts, the transmission, the power from engine to the rear axle, a number of alternative methods have been used in case of differential. While taking turns, the driving wheels must turn at different speeds. This is done with the help of a differential. This is the main transmission system. Next important component of engine is the auxiliaries. The principal one out of these is that it is common to almost all type of vehicle is the electrical equipment. This can be subdivided into 4 systems. Supply system contains battery and generator, the starter. The ignition system contains battery and magnetic ignition system, and ancillary devices. Under ancillary devices, there are driving lights, headlights, side lights, tail lights, number plate, etc. Signaling, horn, direction indicators, and the brake light. Other lights including interior roof lights, panel light, and reverse light if fitted. Miscellaneous radio, heater, fans, electrical fuel pump, electrical windscreen wipers. This is all about the auxiliaries. The controls. The control consists of steering system and the brakes. Last, the superstructure. In those cases where frameless construction is not adopted, there must be a separate superstructure. That is the body attached to the frame, which in case of frameless construction, the body performs the function of both. The body contains the passenger and the luggage space besides the engine compartment. The shape of the body depends upon the ultimate use for which the vehicle is meant. This is the superstructure. So this is all about engine components. What are the names of Indian automakers? TVS, Maruti Suzuki, Eicher, Ashok Leyland, Force Motors, Tata, Mahindra, Hero, Bajaj. These are the main Indian automakers. These are all about basics of automobile engineering. If you want to get more videos, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.